So your new MTV show, Ghosted, Love Gone Missing, you help haunted people confront the ghosts that left them behind.
Sounds so dramatic.
So why did you want to get involved with this?
Well, one, I've been on both sides of the spectrum for ghosting, right? I've been ghosted, I've ghosted, so I feel like I know that whole space incredibly well. And it's honestly a chance for me to travel around the country and help people, which is great. I can literally talk to anyone. It's what I do on my podcast. It's what I do on my Apple Music show. And kind of getting into these people's minds and investigating, you know, their social media and stuff. It's messy and it's fun. I like it.
And you team up with Rachel Lindsay.
Yes.
So what was it like getting to work with her, and why do you guys work so well together?
She's incredible. So Rachel and I have been friends. She's been a guest on my podcast. I actually shot a different show with, I guess you would call him her ex, Nick Viall.
Oh yeah.
So I'm like slowly but surely getting introduced into the Bachelor Nation. But she's incredible, and you know, she's a lawyer, so having her on my side and being able to investigate with an actual real deal lawyer helps. And yeah, she just got married.
Yeah.
So she's living it up right now.
Did she invite you to the wedding?
I did get invited to the wedding. I wasn't gonna fly to a different country. I got invited a little late.
Oh no.
Not gonna lie. But yeah, I texted her on the big day, and she was really happy. And I actually just saw her, and she's like
glowing.
over the moon. Yeah, ecstatic.
So there has been a little bit of criticism about the show in terms of glorifying stalking. So what's your response to that?
I think it's so stupid because one, all of these people have been heavily vetted, right? I will never walk somebody, you know, into the face of an abuser or a stalker. I will never put, you know, anybody that we're working with in a dangerous position. Number two, it's like when these people appear on the show, they have to give us consent to shoot them, right? So it's not like no one can be like, I don't want to be on camera. So I just think it's a lot of ignorance, and it's people not kind of understanding like what really goes on to make a show like this. And yeah, like I'm not gonna tolerate somebody stalking someone that we're working with. You know, that's like equating, you know, a car show to supporting drunk driving. It makes no sense. There's no correlation. And I think once people actually watch the show, they're gonna get it. I
feel like sometimes ignorance is bliss when it comes to stuff like this. Like there's always that risk that someone might feel worse after getting that closure. So I mean, how do you navigate that, and did that happen?
There's always that risk, 100%. I feel like when people do find out the real reason why they get ghosted, it is never why they originally think, right? They come to us and they're like, well, I didn't go to his birthday party, or, you know, I sent this one weird text. It is never that. Most of the time, to my surprise, it's actually an issue that the person who ghosted is struggling with. And they didn't know how to tell, you know, that person in their life, and they think that cutting off communication is easier. And in terms of like, do they leave worse? I don't think so. I think a lot of these people are coming on the show to get closure, right? And it's impacted the way that they move forward with their life. It affects them with jobs, it affects them with friendships, it affects them with relationships. And once you kind of have that peace of mind, you can start putting the pieces of your life back together.
So doing this show and hearing all the stories, did it change your view of relationships, or did you have like an aha moment where you're like, wow, I didn't think about this before?
If anything, the show has made me grateful for the relationships that I have in my life. It just shows that like people are willing to drop somebody, you know, for trivial reasons, right? And it is just so much, like I said, I keep saying this, like if you have a problem and you know, and that person means a lot to you, just sit down and talk to them about it. Because what you're finding on this show is that these people, you know, won't talk for 4 years, and we spend 4 days bringing them together, and over the course of an hour, they're able to resolve whatever issue they had from the beginning. And it's like all of this, you know, missed time, like you guys could have had together. But yeah, if anything, it makes me grateful for the relationships I have in my life and the people that I have in my life who are slightly more rational.
And then you've admitted that you've been ghosted before. So what happened with that?
So I got ghosted by my friend, and I feel like when people, you know, hear the idea of the show, they think it's just relationships, romantic relationships. It's not, you know, it's everything between best friends. It does, you know, we have some lovers on there as well, but family as well, cousins, you know, stepbrothers, stepsisters. I got ghosted by my childhood best friend. We went to elementary school together, we went to middle school together, and on my first day back to 9th grade to start high school, I go up to him, we hadn't seen each other all summer, and he went to a religious camp over the summer, and our first day back he was like, hey, I can't talk to you, I can't be friends with you, we can't hang out anymore, don't hit me up. And that was really the only explanation he gave. And I didn't talk to him the rest of high school. And it wasn't until we were about 22 where we actually like saw each other at this music thing, and we ended up talking and laughing about everything. And we became friends again. But throughout my high school years, I had no idea why I got ghosted. And so I definitely know how it feels to lose a friend that you have so much history with over what seemed like nothing.
And then when you guys had the conversation, did he tell you why he ghosted?
Well, he went to a religious camp, and he just was kind of like, I can't talk to anyone who listens to secular music, who wears secular band t-shirts, who isn't aligned with everything I'm doing. And I respect it, but a couple years later he laughed and was like, it was so extreme. Like I didn't need to do all that. We could have just had a conversation. And one thing that you'll find in the show is that just educating people on whatever issues you may have, it is a lot easier to have a hard conversation than just ghost somebody.
Right.
But we were able to reconcile and laugh, and we're friends to this day, and it's nice.
And then on the flip side, you said you've also ghosted people.
Gosh, yes, I have.
So I'm curious from a male perspective, what were your reasons for ghosting?
One, I was 18, right? I was horrible at communicating. I don't know. I didn't have those skills yet. I never ghosted anyone I was in a long-term relationship with. I ghosted someone I met online and hung out with for 2 days. But we got matching tattoos.
Oh, wow.
Which is why it held a little weight. But yeah, I ghosted her, covered up the tattoo 2 weeks later, never talked to her again. If you're watching this, I'm sorry. But you can also watch my new MTV show where I talk about that a lot.
So what happened with the matching tattoos? Like, how did that connection happen after 2 days?
Well, the whole conversation started with she was from Canada. She lived in Las Vegas. She wanted residency in the United States, so the joke started that we should just get married. And I was like, okay, cool, like when I'm in Las Vegas. And she's like, check your email. And she bought me a plane ticket to Las Vegas. Oh. So I flew out there. I actually ended up getting kind of catfished. This is a hybrid story. So I land in the airport, I meet her, I'm like, okay, this is not what I signed up for. So I'm thinking quick, I'm like, hey, instead of getting married, it's a lot of paperwork, if we get divorced, all that stuff. It's like, let's just go get matching tattoos. And she was like, okay, and we'll get just married tattoos. And I'd always been told, if you get your palm tattooed or your lip tattooed, it goes away, right? It falls out. It does not. So I went first. I got half of a heart in my palm. And then when she started getting hers done, I went outside, I called my friend. I'm like, hey, drive down to Vegas right now, call me back in 10 minutes, make up some crazy family emergency. He's like, okay. I go back inside, I pick up my phone. I'm like, oh my God, I gotta go. He drove me back to California. 2 weeks later, I covered up the heart with a huge apple, and I have a show called Ghosted.
You just freaked out, I guess. You just realized this is crazy.
I was just in over my head. I was horrible with confrontation. I was, bad at having hard conversations. That is something I will never do again, and I've definitely learned from my mistakes. You've
obviously been in a long-term relationship with Madelaine Petsch. So what is it about your relationship that made you not want to ghost?
Oh, what is it about my relationship? We have the most ghostable relationship too, because she lives in a different country. So if she wanted to ghost me, it'd be super easy. What made me not want to ghost? I don't know. I just kind of like, after we hung out, we just hung out every single day after that, and just didn't even really think twice about it. But yeah, she's incredible. I've never done a long distance relationship. I don't think she has either. And one thing that's, as hard as it may be, one thing that's kind of refreshing is that it's nice knowing, when someone flies back home or I fly up there, it's nice like knowing someone puts in that effort to want to see you, right? Because you date someone that you live with, and you kind of take that time together for granted. And when you're forced to do long distance, like the effort really shows.
And then what was her reaction when you told her about this show?
Oh, she is the biggest Catfish fan ever. Like I'm not even gonna say Catfish. She is the biggest reality TV fan ever, right? I'll just say MTV reality fan ever. And she was just stoked. Like every day that I'd get done filming, she'd call me, and when I get to my hotel, I'm like, okay, tell me everything that happened today. And I'd be like, I just lived this. I'm like, can I just like sleep for 7 hours and I'll tell you about it later or watch it when it comes out? But yeah, she's like been my biggest cheerleader. She's telling everyone on Riverdale to watch the show, and she's gonna get them all to become Ghosted super fans.
I've talked to her before, and she told me that you actually made the first move.
Yep.
So what did you do?
I messaged her on Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah, I auditioned for the show. I didn't get the role, obviously, but she had like a profile picture of her on set, and we had a mutual friend, and so I just sent her congratulations. I don't even think she wrote back until like a month later, and then I was at a nightclub and I saw a redhead across the way, and I swore to, I was like, oh, this is her, that's her. And then she left. I saw like the redhead leave, so I messaged her and was like, hey, are you at this nightclub? And she's like, no, I'm at home with my parents. And I was like, okay, well, I thought I saw you. Here's my number. If you were here in person, I would have given it to you. And then she still didn't text me until she landed back in LA. And the day she landed, yeah, she texted me and we went out to the movies on our first date.
And that was it.
That was it.
And obviously you guys are both so open on social media, but how do you navigate, I guess, what to keep private and what to share with your fans?
I think it's just a mutual understanding. Like, I'm very open, but I've found that I think it's balance, you know, and I think it's like having stuff for us and then having things that we share out into the world. And then sometimes like you just can't help it. Like if we're on a date or something, people are gonna take photos and you just gotta like, it comes with it, you know? Yeah, you just gotta accept it.
If you love that video, you're gonna love everything on the Access YouTube channel. So hit the subscribe button. You can thank me later. Hit it.